are the faces for today. Those who are going to break the myths and gonna guide you exactly what they have followed, not following the myths, you know, exactly not following the stereotype ways, exactly what you need to do, all the hustles, all the problems that they have faced, all the demotivation they have faced and motivated themselves to continue the process and achieving, much higher level. So today we are going to start with, are you a 5-star coder at CodeChef or you want to be the one? So if you want to be one, or if you want to start your coding career with doing some competitive coding and doing some practice questions, today we are here to make this even amazing. So we, Developer Student Club, Lovely Professional University, are focusing on improvising the culture of coding and also promoting the open source culture. We are very thankful for our lead, Mr. Bhavesh Mali, and entire board and code team for providing this opportunity to all our very own members and students of Lovely Professional University. So today we have two of the most experts in our Lovely Professional University, LPU's top expert coders, Mr. Abhay Singh Chauhan and Mr. Aditya Agarwal. So I'll be requesting, please turn on their cameras before turn on their mics. So yeah, so here are the faces. So today they are going to take the session for today. So I'll be giving a brief introduction so that you can know what is the level and what are the problems they have solved, what are the things they have done in order to get this opportunity that they are mentoring you all. So Mr. Aditya Agarwal is in his profile in years. He's a 5-star CodeChef. He soon is going to be the 6th one, 6 stars. He has ranked 83 in CodeChef January Long Challenge. He is an SD intern in a product-based company, big product-based company known as Optimizer. He's also a specialist in Codeforce. He has solved more than 1800 problems throughout his career when he started. And coming back to Mr. Abhay Singh Chauhan, he's a very young and sweet fellow. He is an intern in HackerOut and expert in Codeforce, with a rating more than 1819, and also he got a global rank of 249, in the Codeforce round. And also he has solved more than 700 problems in Codeforce. So they have a huge experience in this domain. And also today we are having my very special co-host, Mr. Bhavesh Mali, community lead, Developer Student Club for this session. So I'll be handing over to Mr. Bhavesh Mali to take it forward, please.
Everyone, and thank you so much, boss, for giving me, introducing me too well. So hello everyone, once again, good evening to all of you. So before moving to the session, that I guess boss has introduced your speaker Aditya, and we have Abhay Singh with us. So these two will be our speaker. And before moving to that, I would like to give my quick introduction. So my name is Bhavesh Mali. I'm leading this Google Developer Student Club at Lovely Professional University. And I'm a full stack web developer. Recently, I'm working as a cloud native intern at Rescape Technology. And I was the grand finalist for Smart in a Hackathon 2019. So, and more info, I guess you can go with my LinkedIn profile. So that will be more awesome. This is enough for me. And yeah, over to you, boss.
So today we are going to know some of the stories, the motivation behind how Mr. Aditya Agarwal started his journey. And he'll be sharing all the myths that one have, that will I be a 5-star, it will take 2 years to do. So all the myths, all the long terms, it's easy to do something that is work, it's always the best way to do hard work rather than doing the shortcuts. So he'll be telling what are the hardships he faced, and he became one of the top coders in LPU. So I'll be requesting Mr. Aditya Agarwal and as well as Abhay Singh. So they will both be combiningly telling the session. So the session will be initiated by Mr. Aditya. So please, Adibhai, let's get started then.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Boss, for giving me the opportunity to speak, and also thanks to Mr. Bhavesh Mali. So yeah, folks, a very good evening. Can you hear me? Please let me know in the chat box itself. Can you hear me? So yeah, that's cool. So yeah, hopefully for all of you are doing great. So yeah, if I talk about my journey, about how I started with the CodeChef and the competitive programming, then I would say in the very beginning, when I came in the first year of to the LPU, I don't know about what programming is and what is competitive programming basically. When I was sitting in the first class of my LPU, then literally the programming session was going on, and I was literally staring at the professor like what he or she is saying. Like I was literally not getting anything, and the time was going on, and I was literally not getting like what is programming and all. Then the time went, and in the second year itself, I was getting to know about like if I have to achieve something great, then I have to start with competitive programming. Then I would say in the second year, I started with the HackerRank, and in HackerRank, one of my friends suggested me like I can do basic programming with the HackerRank. Then I started with the Hacker. So yeah, I was saying like in the month of August, I started with the of my second year. I started with the HackerRank. Like I started with the basic programming questions over there in the problem solving. Then in the fourth year itself, my friend, a very great friend of mine, Himanshu, suggested me like I should do CodeChef so that I will be able to achieve great rating over there and to be placed in a great product-based company. Then I started with the CodeChef, and in the month of February, when I was solving my very first question on the CodeChef, literally I was just staring at the question like what the question is actually trying to say. And I was looking at the question for around 1 hour, and I was not getting. Then after spending a lot of time, even on the very first question itself, then after spending a lot of time, I get to know about the logic and solve it fully. Trust me, when you see that green tick on the question after getting it accepted, trust me, it's the greatest thing ever you feel like. Yeah, I have solved it by my own, and yeah, the time was going on, and in the month of April, I started. Literally, I don't know about the what stats, queues, and all these basic data structures are in the very beginning. Then I started to learn about it time by time. Then I started to learn about it. Then I just try to implement it what they are, and try to implement them in the real context itself. And yeah, after that, after implementing them in the real context, then when I achieved the 4-star rating, I was getting like now I have to start with the dynamic programming questions and the other stuff related to the graphs itself. Then I started in and solved the questions related to them, and after that, I was able to achieve the 5-star rating on the course itself. So yeah, it was a great experience. Like to start with the competitive programming, and even this, the competitive programming itself helped me to crack the placement of the optimizer itself. Like the questions they were asked in the interview, all related to the graphs and the dynamic programming itself. So it was like to clear the coding round itself is it's like the giving a contest again. And yeah, the habit of giving the contest has been already built in the past 1 year by giving a lot of contests. So yeah, you can start with the competitive programming, and it was a great journey, I would say.
Moment, I guess technical glitch from your side. So Abhay is going to share the PPT. Yeah, we have the PPT.
Yeah, that what you can say short snippet of my profile, and so yeah, now I would like to over to Mr. Abhisim Chauhan so that he can also tell you about his career, like what he has achieved and how he has achieved. So yeah, over to Abhisim Chauhan, please.
So yes, hello and good evening, everyone. I am Abhay, recently in second year pursuing BTech CSC from the LPU itself. I am here because every person who is doing competitive programming right now want to achieve something that is the good coding profile in and good personality in the competitive programming. So right now we will discussing the major mistakes which everyone do, and not everyone but mostly persons do while starting the CP, and how to overcome that. We will discuss all these things in the further sessions, further session in next 20 to 30 minutes. So yeah, over to Aditya Bhaiya.
So yeah. So yeah, the very first doubt which appear in my mind, like how we can start with the competitive programming. May I know in the chat box itself how many of you are not on the competitive programming profiles on the competitive programming platforms? May I know? Is there anyone? No. Okay. Is there anyone else who don't know about the competitive programming and where to start? Okay.
Go to the PPT slide. I guess who is sharing the PPT?
So yeah.
Yeah, perfect. And make the presenter mode for the full screen.
So yeah, it's not a big deal. Like we can start with the competitive programming. It's not a big issue. Like before moving to the competitive programming, I would suggest you everyone to have the prerequisites of the like how basic mathematics is working. Like you should know about the like if you don't have any prior knowledge of how prime numbers are working, like the basic number theory is working basically, I would say. And if you don't have the prior knowledge of the mathematics, then I would say you can't directly go into the competitive programming, because when you will be solving the very first questions of in any coding contest, it will be mostly it will be related to the mathematics. So you will get somewhat stuck over there, and you will feel like no, I'm not being made for it. So yeah, you should have basic knowledge of mathematics, like the GCD, LCM, the prime numbers, how to apply the concepts of the mathematics in competitive. So yeah, you should have the basic knowledge of mathematics. And the second one, you should know any programming language. I would say any programming language. Like it doesn't matter you are starting with the C++, Java, or Python. It doesn't matter in competitive programming so much. Like if you have any knowledge of any programming language, then you can start with it. So yeah, these are only the prerequisites I would say you can start with the competitive programming. And yeah, don't.
Like, can you please take the mic? Sorry to interrupt. Like, I think many people are not able to hear you. Okay, please.
So yeah. So I was saying like these are the only two prerequisites which I prefer you to have. Like you can learn the data structures, parallelly. But if you have the knowledge of the data structures, like I'm talking about the basic data structures like stacks, queues, dequeues, and all. If you have the prior knowledge of it, then it's good to go. If you don't have, but still you can start with the competitive programming itself. So yeah, and if I talk about the platforms where you can start with the competitive programming and how to make the perfect use of it. So yeah, if you are a really very beginner and you don't know about the how CodeChef and Codeforces are working, so yeah, in my opinion, you can start with the HackerRank itself. Like because I personally use the HackerRank in the very early stage of my competitive programming. Like in HackerRank, there is one section you will find problem solving. And trust me, the questions of the problem solving in the HackerRank are very basic. Like they will build a problem solving quality in you, so which you will be able to apply in the big contest of the CodeChef and the Codeforce. So yeah, just if you are a really very beginner or a newbie itself, so you should start with the HackerRank. Try to solve 50 to 100 questions in problem solving section of the HackerRank, and then you are good to go over the CodeChef and the Codeforce. Okay, and in the CodeChef you can give the contest. Like in CodeChef generally there are 3 contests. Okay, the long challenge, the cook-off, and the lunchtime. You can try to give all the 3 contests. It's not a big issue. And apart from these 3 contests, any other contest also used to happen in the CodeChef. You can try to give. That will definitely boost your confidence, I would say. And yeah, if I talk about the HackerRank, then you can use the HackerRank to get hired in a big firm or in any internship, because in HackerRank a lot of hiring contests used to happen. So yeah, you can from HackerRank you can get the knowledge of the problem solving, the very basic problem solving skills, and then you can apply that problem solving skill on CodeChef and the Codeforces, and that combined knowledge will help you to grab the internship offers or full-time offers as well on the HackerRank itself. So yeah, that will be a good combination you can apply. If you and yeah, trust me, this all is my personal opinion. So yeah. and it now it matters like where and how you can give contest. And in my opinion, like you can give contest on any platform. Okay, and it matters like if I talk about this previous slide, like CodeChef and the code forces. Someone will be confused like there are many contests used to happen. Like if I show you, like is my full screen visible? If yes, then just let me know. Please put a thumbs up of yes. Okay, great. So yeah, see, like if I type CodeChef, okay. So see, if you can see, as you can see, there is one section of complete, okay, and there you can find all running contest, okay. There is a section of all running contest, okay. So here you can find the upcoming contests which are about to come, okay. Like the cook-off challenge is about to come. These two contests, like the cook-off and the lunchtime, these are the rated ones, which will increase your rating on the CodeChef platform itself, okay. But these are the alternate contests, like this contest and like the first contest. These are not rated, but it will boost your confidence. Like if you are participating in them, okay. If you're participating in the contest, then it will definitely boost your confidence. Like you would be able to solve the contest in this contest. Then you would be able to solve the questions in these contests, like cook-off and the lunchtime one. It will because it will make you familiar with the platform itself, okay. And yeah, just try to learn one thing, that rating doesn't matter a lot, and your knowledge matters. Because trust me, when you will be sitting in the interviews itself, nobody will ask you about like okay, you are a 6-star programmer, so you can solve this problem. Because if you are a 4-rated programmer itself and you are providing a optimal solution and a great solution to the interview itself, then it will definitely hire you. And at that time, rating doesn't matter a lot, okay. And I hope you agree with me. If yes, then you can put a thumbs up or yes symbol, so that I get to know like you are getting the things. Okay, that's it. And that's all my personal opinion. So yeah. So if I move on forward, and no doubt if you have any questions, then we will take your questions in the very last itself. So yeah, make your great doubts so that we can solve it. So yeah, if I talk about the schedule management, so see, we are all clear with this that we used to have CAs, okay. We used to have CAs every week almost, okay. And we used to have midterm examinations and the entrance examinations as well. And to make your time free apart from these is very important. Because I would say in this time you have to build your time management skills as well, so that you would be able to find out how you can make your schedule perfect, so that you would be able to make your you would be able to handle the stuff related to your university as well, and the competitive profile as well. Because trust me, it doesn't if you would be able to manage all these skills parallelly, then in the upcoming 1 or 2 months you will be seeing a difference in you. Like you are handling all the things parallelly. Like yeah, entertainment is also important, but if you would be able to develop these things parallelly, then it will be a great thumbs up to you as well. Like if I talk about myself, then what I used to do, trust me, I used to like if I talk about when I was in the university, then what I used to do, like I generally used to study before the examinations. Like suppose my CA is on 21st, then I used to study for the CAs on the 20th of itself. And but there is a big difference about this 20 and the 21st. Like you can listen to the professor. If it's not feasible, then you can listen to the professor in the class itself. And if it's not possible, then you can start for the CA 2 days prior of that. And when I used to come to my room in the hostels, then I used to go to the hacker rank, and after coming to the hacker rank, I used to solve the questions. And I used to sit for around like I'm sitting around 7 o'clock, and then I used to solve the questions till 10 o'clock, and then sometimes 9 o'clock. Then I used to go to have my dinner with my friends, and after coming back, I used to chill. And from 11 to 1 o'clock, I still used to solve the questions on the hacker rank. And sometimes when uh, it's late, then like my main motive is that like just try to build one habit of solving the questions daily, because it should feel like whenever you are going to your bed, it should have one great feeling in your mind that like yes, today I have solved 2 or 3 questions. Okay, yeah, this great feeling should be in your mind. So yeah, I think if I am talking about this schedule management, then Abhay Singh Chauhan would be a great person. Like he is in the second year itself, and he can tell you about like he is managing his or her schedule greatly in the second year itself. So yeah, I would like to over to Abhay Singh Chauhan.
Yeah, sure. Hello everyone once again. So today, right now, I'm going to discuss the schedule management. Yes, schedule management is very important while doing the competitive programming. What I'm a day scholar, so I have a hectic schedule from morning 6 a.m. to evening 8 p.m. to reach home and then manage the CP. Then how I did is, I fix my schedule from the 9 to 10 p.m. Like I have a goal to do the programming in that fixed time, and I have to do. I make my university schedule after 10 or before 9, from 9 to 10, and I solve the problem from in that time only. But now, as the first year, and now the lockdown is going on, and we all at home. So so all the routine gets changed, and there is no right now there is no exact time of 9 to 10 p.m. So how I'm managing right now, like I have created a to-do list, because right now I can't keep the fixed time because everyone is at home, and like my mother is saying, eat the food, khana kha le, and my sister is disturbing me, and suddenly like the parents are saying to go to the market and buy the things. So I don't have any fixed time, but yes, I have created a to-do list. Like I have to solve at least 5 problems in a day. So what I do right now is I take out time, like except from the online classes, like I have 2 hours in my idle time. So I take 1 hour and solve the 3 questions in that. And when I get another 3 hours in the day, then I solve another 2 questions on that day. But I have a goal, like I have to solve at least 5, minimum 5 questions, but yes, maximum to 10 or more than that. So this is how I am managing schedule in this period of the lockdown, as we are at home. So, and it is very beneficial for me. Like I am able to solve the problems, and it is a good habit to at least solve 1 problem per day to increase your the problem set and how you do the competitive programming for the future. So yeah, let's move on. So now we have the schedule, how we have to study, how we have to do the competitive programming, how we have to practice. But from where we have to learn? Like if you are a pure beginner, then you need somebody to teach you, or somebody from you can learn. So here the first the website comes in your mind is Geek for Geeks. Geek for Geeks has a great problem set of data structure algorithm. For every data structure algorithm, you will find the implementations, theory, and also the video tutorials below the links. The Geek for Geeks has, the practice session also. I myself do the practice till now on Geek for Geeks of the data structures, and yes, they have the great problem set. And if you are preparing for the interviews, and yes, it also have the company tags. From that, you can solve the particular questions also. And then moving on to CP algorithms, yes, CP algorithm is a hidden website, I can say, because none of the beginners, very few beginners know about it. The CP algorithms. May I know who know about the CP algorithms website? In the chat box, yeah. Who know about it? Okay, I get one. Yes. Okay. No. Yes. Okay. No, I don't know about it. No. Okay. So yeah, it is a website where you can learn the data structures. Like it is not from the pure beginners, but yes, it includes the theories and implementation of the each and every data structure which you need to continue with it. Like the prerequisite for the CP is maths, as Aditya has discussed. Like maths. After maths, what you need is how to implement array, how to implement strings, how to algorithms on strings, and the stacks, queues, graphs, trees. And the CP algorithms has a great theory and implementation and the problems behind the theory which you can solve for the practice. So I guess CP algorithms is very helpful for practicing the competitive programming in the daily schedule. And after CP algorithms, let's move on to CodeMonk. Again, how many of you know about the CodeMonk? Fast responses. How many of you? A huge no. Yeah, yes, no. Okay. Mixed responses. So CodeMonk is on. You can find it on HackerRat practice column. If you visit HackerRat.com, then you can see the practice column on HackerRat. And the CodeMonk is quite famous for their problem set because they have make the separate columns for the arrays, stacks, queues, and they have make the chain. If you clear the arrays, then you can move on to strings. If you clear the strings, then you move on to the another data structures. And then you have to solve minimum 3 out of 5 questions. And to solve the question, they have also given the theory. Then you learn, then you can implement, then you can move on to another data structure. So CodeMonk is also very helpful to for the learning resources. How you can learn and proceed the CP. Yeah. Now you have how to when to do CP. You have fixed your schedule, and you know where to learn the CP to move on. And now you are doing the problem. So how can you approach the problem? The first thing comes to your mind is. So firstly, took the problem which is not so much easy and not so much tough because at that moment you are definitely not going to gain anything, and took the problem that is like your current rating is X, then try to took the problem which is X plus 200 rating and less than X plus 500 rating in that range. So now you have took the problem which you have to solve, and now you are solving, and now you have started the reading the problem. Now in the first read you didn't get the question. Now try to read again. Till then you didn't get the question, and try to take copy and pen with you. Then I always have a copy and pen with me during the live contest, and I prefer to solve on it because solving all the things in mind, it's definitely more than complex things that ever happen. Then always the first strategy is take a copy and pen with you and try to, if you are not getting any question, and try to solve on write down the formulas or what you can simply with the question on the copy pen. And then if you are implementing the question, you got the question, now you are implementing the question, but you stuck in it. Now you are not able to implement it. Like you are written 3 words, but you got in the mind like this can't be, there can be another thing. So you are implementing another thing. But yes, the another thing comes like someone says the logic didn't clicks. You didn't get the logic. After so many tries, you again implement something. No, it can't be. There must be another thing. So again, you implement, but not. So at that moment, when I get stuck while implementing the logic, what I did is sometimes I stopped the implementation and took a 2 minutes break and read the question once again. And after reading like 2 minutes break, when I read the question once again, I note the steps, like first I have to do this, then this, then this, then this, because the question is quite clear. Either it is not for the maths or combinatorics. Either then the problem is quite clear, like we have to do this, then this, then this. Then I frame the implementation once again after taking a break. That break is quite very helpful, because that break, what the break do is, your mind become more fresh than before, and you try to think something new which you haven't think before, because before you are thinking that logic which is not going to give you correct answer. So take a break and think once again. Still not get the solution, then check for the editorials. Don't go for the direct solutions of another, like my friends have solved it, so I check for a solution. No, don't do this. Go for the editorials and read the editorial, understand it, then implement. Again, you can't implement, then check for the solution of the editorial, not of your friend, because you have read the editorial and you don't know that your friend has implemented in that logic or not. So check for the editorial solution. So that, like this way you can approach a problem, and this is like you can definitely, it will very helpful for you. Is everybody facing this issue? Like which issue? Okay. So as someone said, ABC at Quora beginners contest, yeah, it is very helpful. So yeah, now we have solved a problem, like we have read the editorial and we have approached for the solution, good solution for a problem. And if you are giving a contest and unable to solve in between the contest, don't demotivate. Demotivate yourself to approach the problem and sit for at least 2 hours, like contest for 2 hours, and sit and think for 2 hours at that time. Don't quit the contest in between. And still can't solve it, then check the editorials after the contest and do solve till 500 plus rating questions. Like you have solved B questions and your rating is 1600, do solve till D problems. It's a very good suggestion. Yeah, let's move on. So yeah, here we have some more important tips. Let me share my screen and let me write it down, which are the tips can be helpful. So yeah, can someone check is my screen visible or not?
Yeah, it's visible over. Yeah.
So okay, just a minute. Like we are going to, okay. Like the first, like we are going to share. I'm going to share the CP tips, like which are the more important CP tips, right? You can follow. So the first tip is you must know, like many of you are from the first year and second year and not started the CP yet. So you must need to know. Try practicing maths. You have to build your base, and the base is of maths. If you are in the competitive programming, you have to learn maths. But maths like GCD. What is GCD? You're in common language HCF, highest common factor, the LCM, and the primes, about the knowledge about the primes, what are prime numbers, and what are divisors, number of divisors, factors, and yeah. These are some basic tips, the basic knowledge about the maths, which everyone knows. Like if you are going into CP, then you must know about the basic maths to make your base strong. Like in every contest, like if you given contest, like the first question is the easiest one, and that is mostly on formulas, simple maths, but yes, it is on maths. So our base should be the maths. And then now we have to practice maths. Where should we practice maths? The best I can say, the site for practicing maths is Codeforces. Codeforces, you can check for the Codeforces problem set. Once you visit the Codeforces problem set, select the tag for the maths, and if your rating is X, like if your rating is X, select the X plus 20, 200, X plus 500 range. Like I can show you, like if I visit the Codeforces, there you can here you can visit the problem set, click on it. Like then you can check for the add tag. There you can, like, here is a great problem set with more than 2000 problems, I guess. And here you can check for the tag for the maths. That is,
Okay, to interrupt you, you are sharing only your tab, like your screen is not being shared.
oh, okay, just a minute. Is it now visible?
Yeah, it's visible. Alright.
Okay, now I can continue with the beginning. Like, if you right now you are opening the Codeforces, so let's move on to problem set where you have to print, and it has more than 200, 2000 and many more problems, and you can select here tags. Like here the tags, which problem you can solve. You can see the, like, you are solving the bit marks. You can check the bit marks, brute force, dynamic programming, flows, game theory, geometry problems. Yes, but for the basic ones, for if you're starting it, check for the maths. And like, if your current rating is let's suppose 1000, check, put here 2000 and put here 500 or 1700 and apply it. Once you apply it, tick, then tick for the user submission. Like, here it will sort the first question will be this solved by the most of the solution, most of the users. Like, it is solved by the 13,000 users. So here start solving the problems, and it will definitely like build your level. If you are able to solve 30,000 problems, go on to 20,000. If you are able to solve the 20,000 user submission, go on to 15,000. If you guess 15,000, yes, then go on to, if you are comfortable in that range, then go on to 10,000 range. Like, there are more than 11,000 range, then solve the 11,000 range. And yes, it will definitely help you a lot. And solve at max problems as you can, and at fast. Because if you are spending 2 hours on one simple problem, definitely you are wasting your time, and it will definitely not help you in the live contest, because the contest is of 2 hours. And you can see the first question is solved by 2000 plus users in 2 minutes only. So you have to build your time, like how fast you can do and how accurate you can do. So here you have solved, and you have to build accuracy. Now you have to build accuracy. And another most important tip is, you have to be calm. Be calm, not hesitate. Like, you have done B, now you have to fastly do the C. Be calm, open another problem and read the problem and do it calmly. Because in the hesitation, what going on, you are not able to solve. Like, still some of my friends, what they do, it's the live experience from the yesterday contest only. My friend can solve the problem still 2000 rating, but yes, yesterday he can't able to solve because he is too much stressed out, and he can only solve the first question, not either of B, not either of C. So be calm, and don't hesitate, and take rest. And yes, this is how you can move on. So after moving on, we can check it. Like, the most here the come is, don't break your streak. Solve at least one problem per day. If you are breaking the streak, like, you are definitely means you are getting a lazy type of lazy behavior in yourself. Like, I have not done yesterday, okay, I will do one problem, but yes, I can do it tomorrow. No, solve at least one. It may take your time for 5 to 10 minutes. Just take your time from the busy schedule. But yes, if you are a competitive program, you have to solve at least one problem per day. And yes, from where, if you are complete beginner, yes, go for the HackerRank, as Aditya said. And I started from the HackerRank. I did the 30-day course of HackerRank, which is free 30-day of code. And yes, till I get the 4 stars on competitive programming, I didn't move on to Coursera, because HackerRank is the base building platform where you can build your base. Definitely, the HackerRank starts from the maths. HackerRank starts from the 3D. So here you can move on from the one problem per day. And after that, if you are stuck, check for the edge cases for the problems. and check for the constraints. Like if the constraints are too high, like if the constraints are too high, that is 10 raised to power 9, and the time limit is only 1 second, and you can't build n square approach, like you can't do in time of O(n) square, because it will definitely, yes, your approach is right, but that code can't fit into that time limits, that constraints. So definitely you will get a wrong answer. So yeah, these are the most basic tips that you must know in proceeding with competitive programming. So yeah, let's move on. Move on to over to Aditya bhaiya.
So yeah, as Abhay said, the points are added, like this is how you wait, so yeah. As Abhay said, all points are added, like this is how you can build up your reading and your skills as well in the courses and the courses as well. Like if I share a general.
Take your like mic and close to your mouth.
Yeah, hello, am I audible?
Yeah, it's better now.
Yeah, from this site you can learn about the basic mathematics concept, like I have shared in the chat box itself. Like you will get to know about the all basic math concepts which you should know in the very beginning. Okay, and this will help you out. And I think Abhay has told you all about the code courses, like how you can utilize it properly to get maximum out of it. And similarly, we can use the courses as well, like which I told, like how I told you earlier. You, I can show you again if you want. So yeah, like here you can give the contest like the cook-off and the lunchtime one, which are rated ones, and all the other contests, like as you can see in the past itself, all these contests has happened. And trust me, around 99% of these contests were not the rated ones. Okay, but what if you're giving this contest, all these contests will boost up your confidence, like yes, I can solve these questions. Okay, so to boost your confidence, I would say try giving as much as contests you can. And trust me, whenever you will be sitting in the any coding rounds in your third year, or I would say in the second year, whenever you want to sit for the interviews, trust me, whenever you will be sitting for any coding interview, trust me, it will be like you are giving a contest again, and you will be like, yeah, I have to give my best, and I have to think first in my university or in state or in country. Okay, so you will be in rush, like I have to give my best. So yeah, try developing the habit in you of giving the contest, and it will be really fun when you will be sitting in the interviews and solving the questions. You will be like, oh, this question, yeah, I have solved this question earlier. It's very easy. Like it doesn't matter. Like the a very big myth in our mind. A very big myth in our mind is like this question is of graph. I don't know about the graph. How can I solve it? But trust me, when you start solving the questions related to graph, around, I would say, if you have solved around 4 to 5 questions, even you will be getting the logic of how I can approach it. And the only key to solve this question is the practice. Like we have the resources available, like the teacher is the CP algorithms. CP algorithms is the best one, I would say, and the CodeMonk as well, and other websites as well, like the Java 2 and all. These are all the websites which you can consider, but try practicing, because practicing will make you perfect. And yeah, suppose you are a coder and you are solving 200 questions, and alongside there is another coder who is solving only 50 questions, but he is solving the questions of quality. Okay, and that the guy who has solved 200 questions of easy quality only, but the guy who has solved 50 questions but of quality, like of containing all the concepts, like the 5 questions of graph, the 5 questions related to the stack, 5 questions related to the queues, arrays. I may say all the concepts, and the one who has solved the 200 questions of only one concept or of only easy ones, then it's of no use. because you have solved 200 questions, but still you would not be able to solve more than 2 questions in any contest because you are still stuck to the easy section. Okay, I hope you are getting my point, what I'm trying to say. Okay, so try to solve all the questions of all the by uh, uh, by having all the fundamentals and of all the difficulty levels, which will make a uh, good skill set in you. So yeah, I hope you are getting my point. So if you have any doubts and any questions, you can put in the Q&A section. We will try to have as much as questions we can solve, because you are the next coders which will make the LPU's coders community a way ahead. So yeah, you can ask your questions.
So yeah, I can see a lot of questions are coming all around. So yeah, Divai, like and Abhay, like we can start.
You like who is sharing the screen? It would be great if you can stop Adi or Abhay. Then we'll go with the questions. Perfect. Yeah,
Perfect.
makes
So
What do
like, one of the question from Vishal is that can a 3-star coder on CodeChef pull off all the tests easily? So it's a different question. So can anybody among you love to justify
Yeah.
this question?
Yeah, Vishal, I would say rating doesn't matter. Okay. Suppose I am the new one and I am like, rating doesn't matter, I would say, because if you have the skill set, okay, and you know about all the basics of the graph theory, the stats, the queues, like you have all the basic concepts which are required, so you can you can easily give your best. It doesn't matter, because sometimes what happens, like you know about the concept and you are not getting the question at the right time. But trust me, in this bridge there is one gap. Like suppose in the contest you have not been solved the third question, and after the contest you have up solved it, like you have solved it later, and what it will bring you in that, like it will bring you the confidence and the skill set, the like you have solved it now. You it might happen that in the upcoming contest you would be able to solve the third question, so it will be a great point. So yeah, the basic meaning is that rating doesn't matter, your knowledge matters. So yeah, try to practice.
Yeah, so another question is from Isha, is that topic given in the data structures and algorithms. So what can be the main topics? Like, I think I can frame a question is that like, what are the main topics in order to start the competitive coding, or yeah, you can like become much confident to start, CP. So what are the main topics according to you, please?
So yeah, I would say to start with the competitive programming, not a lot of questions are required. Like if you have the basic understanding of mathematics, again I'm saying, if you have the basic understanding of the mathematics, then you are good to go. But if you have the I'm saying basic understanding of the, like if you are a C++ programmer, then how to make the best use of the STL library available in the C++, and if you are a Java programmer, then how to use the best use of the collections, like collections in the, like if you have the basic understanding of the how to use stacks, queues and dequeues, then you're good to go. But if you don't have, then you should have the basic understanding of the mathematics. Like suppose in a question you have to just print the prime numbers, and you don't know how to print the prime numbers, and it's the very first question in any contest, then you might be solving it around in 15 minutes. But if you might be having prior knowledge of the prime numbers, then you might can solve it in the very first 2 minutes. Then your rating will be at the in top 1000 programmers. But if you don't have, then you might be in the top 10,000 programmers. So yeah, you can see the difference. So you should have the basic knowledge of the mathematics, and if data structure, then it's a good point.
That's amazing. And like I can see many of the people, like many of the students are asking like, what will be the level of question in product based test? I think we will answer the same, and we'll also discuss some sort of questions tomorrow. Like we are having also a session tomorrow, so like you can give your a little bit of a clear impact on it, like what kind of question usually product based companies ask, and we can expect for this test, and tomorrow we are going to deep dive into the all the topics and all. So all are requested to join tomorrow's session as well. So yeah, please Adi bhai, you like to justify this question?
We have a session tomorrow, and in that session we will be discussing the questions which I've asked in the previous year of the product-based test, and how no doubt around 3,000 plus students from our university itself will be giving that contest, and how you can be in the top 135 students out of them. So we will be discussing some great approaches like how you can be one of the top 135 students, and we also be solving the questions or discussing the approach with you, like how you can solve these questions, and if you solve this much question, then what would be your rating and so on. So wait for tomorrow, we will be discussing that tomorrow.
Exactly. So one of the questions from Rajesh is, which year did you started coding in CodeChef? Like he wants to know that how much time does it take to reach 5-star and such a huge level. So will you love to answer?
So, if I talk about my about me, then I started competitive in my second year, and I'm talking about the HackerRank. Like you can't consider HackerRank a proper competitive profile, but I started with the pure competitive from the CodeChef itself in the fourth semester itself, and it have taken around 1 year for me. I know some of my I would say fellow mates as well. Like it doesn't it matters how much great grabbing power you have, like how easily you are getting the concepts. It may take time, you are not getting the concepts easily, and you are giving the contest. But if sometimes it's a matter of luck, I would say also. And but if you have the if you have the great grabbing past, like you are getting the concepts easily, you have got the concept of graph easily, you have got the concept of stack queue and all that easily. If you're getting the concepts easily, then you can easily push your rating a lot. But you can achieve if you're passionate about your rating and you are giving it day and night to have your rating a top notch, then you can push it easily in the 6 months itself, and from the 6 months to the 1 year itself, you can push your rating to a great level, I would say.
Okay, that's amazing. Bhavesh bhai, can you take some of the questions?
Very, very important question for me also, that usually people ask to me, but I usually don't do CP, which programming language we need to, go with this competitive programming. Either people used to say that I also recommend it. I haven't done up to Aditya and Abhay, they are up to the pro level. But I do, so personally, I go with C++, but we have experts with us. So I would like to ask with Abhay, I guess, and Aditya, you can give same answer to them as well.
Yeah, and for this question, after me, Abhay will also answer, because I have my personal opinion about the Java itself. Okay.
Perfect.
So if I talk about myself, then in the very beginning, I started with the C++. Okay. And when I was doing competitive with the C++, I was having an edge, not easily getting the time limit exceed errors and all. Okay. But then around I was getting I should start with the Java, because with Java I can do the competitive as well, but I can do the some other stuffs, if I want to do my own bots, with the Selenium. Those who don't know about the Selenium, with this we can build the bots, okay, to automate the system around that. Okay, you can do the you can build some Android apps as well, in the Android, the whole backend we can do with the help of the Java itself. So with the help of Java, you have an extra edge, you can do some other things as well. But with the C++, you have the only access to the competitive only, I would say. But in competitive, I would say C++ is the beast. What I suggest is, if your focus is only to the competitive profile as well, then you should go for the C++. But if your focus not only the competitive, if you want to do some other stuffs as well, some cool stuffs, I would say, then you can go with the Java itself. So yeah. Now I would like to
cross question from my side. What are the pros and cons, while using Java in CP?
Yeah,
in a brief way, not that.
Yeah, if I talk about the pros, then you have a lot of pros. like while using Java. Like first, like if you're using Java, then no doubt if you're using Java, then no doubt you have to write a lot. Okay, it's not an issue. Like you have to write a lot, but if you are spending around 3 to 4 months in Java, then it will not become a big issue for you. Like if you're writing a lot of code. And in Java, like personally, I would say a feel is coming. Like I'm writing something a great code. Like and the pros, I would say, no doubt all the C++ and the Java both are similar, but the only difference which I consider is the STL library. Like in STL, we have some great predefined algorithms like the upper bound, lower bound, and other STL algorithms are there, but we don't have this in collections. We have to write it by own, and this generally decreases the time in the competitive profile again. But with the help of C++, we can't automate the boards in Selenium, and we can't build the apps in Android. But with the help of Java, we can do it. Like personally, I'm a Android developer as well, so I used to do Android development as well. So yeah, it's a perfect match for me to do Java in competitive and the development phase as well.
I guess now I would like to ask it a bit. Pros and cons with that you do with C++. So yeah, happy to.
Yeah, I guess for the CP, I guess there are 3 languages which everyone chooses. Like first is C++, second is Python, and third is Java. And I personally use C++. As a pro side, I can say like it has the fastest runtime, which everyone use. Like everyone want to get. Like if he is solving a problem that he don't want any kind of time limit exceed, like he's implementing the right code. But yes, if he execute it, he will get a time limit exceed. Like it will a huge blunder, which is mostly seen in the Python. Like it is a huge disadvantages of Python in competitive programming is like for the beginners, it is recommended to use Python because it is very simpler to learn. Like it is like we can write a plus b, then it is doing a plus b. Like print a, then it is doing print. It is easy to learn, but it has the maximum runtime. If you're doing the recursive approaches, then it will give you a time limit exceed. And if you are comparing between the Python and Java, I will go with the Java because Java is better than Python. It has a huge runtime. And if you compare between the Java and C++ in competitive programming, I will go for the C++ because the C++ has the maximum runtime and huge libraries to first, like we have to minimize the time to solve the problem at first and at minimum time to score a good rank in the contest. So C++ give you a huge libraries which you can easily use to and get the solution implemented and get solved and accepted green tick in your solution. That's a big advantage of C++. And yes.
Take any other question from
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I think Roopshri has asked like, does language matters? So I hope she got the answer. And like, how much time does it takes to solve a particular question? So I think that's an interesting question. Havai, can you please take it? Like, do there is any specific barometer, like this question, graph question takes longer time than other data structures question? Look, any particular questions will be getting an approach from DP, or we can do it from greedy. So there is any particular rules, or we can solve according to one practice or according to one understanding. So how you will take this question, please?
According to me, like this problem is this question can be answered like this. This is fully based on how much you practice. Like if you are getting a dynamic programming question, at first you will not like it is going to be implemented in dynamic programming concepts because it is not written in the question like you have to apply dynamic programming. You have to understand yourself, and this can be only built if you have did a huge practice in the dynamic programming. So there are a boot camp, like you have to start from the maths, then move to the arrays, then strings, and practice in deep. Like you have a huge knowledge, like you have gotten question for the longer subsequence, not written longer subsequence, but you get an idea, like I have to do this question using the longer subsequence algorithm. So you directly implement it. But who doesn't have the practice, then he will think, and he will definitely spend a huge time on that, and there his time in solving that question will increase. And this is the main difference due to practice. So yeah.
Okay. So I hope they have got the answer. Like one of the most important question that people always ask, like if do we need to spend minimal time or maximum time on one question? Because what happens is that when a beginner is starting, if they got stuck in one question, they keep on spending hours on it without moving to the second one. So what we will suggest, rather than wasting time for the beginners, they should focus on one question with giving optimal time, or they should give that particular time to trying different other questions, because if they're able to solve one question, they will get the motivation in order to continue. So what should be the approach for a beginner, please?
So I will discuss my approach, how I did. Like everyone, for the basic students, for the beginners, it is recommended to use HackerRank. So for the HackerRank, they are given the problem set like for the maths, the easiest, then tough. If you are on the problem number 6 and you are not getting approach how to implement that question, so first I give the honest 30 minutes, at least minimum 30 minutes to honest 30 minutes, like you are thinking on it, writing on copy pen, like you are doing so and so. Then if you are still not able to solve, do check the tutorials, not check the solutions, because solution will make your habit like this. I am not able to see able to solve the question, let's check the solution. No, you have to check the tutorial first and read the tutorial, get it, then implement the solution one again. Then unable to that, then check for the solution after the tutorials. First check the tutorial if you are unable to solve the question, but at first you have to give the honest 30 minutes to that question. So,
yeah, I think that most of the students what does is that I sometimes see that run for a solution. So I think it paralyzes the way of thinking. It makes our brain stop thinking. So the most important thing, I was talking to Adi bhai, he was telling me that if you start thinking and make our mind muscles work more, it will help to think, because competitive coding is nothing rather than thinking logically and making the optimal solution. So if you see the solutions, it will automatically give us an instant kick. Okay, we got the solution, no need to think. So it will not help our mind to work on it. So I think what you say, making our mind more on attentive part, like we need to think, like rather than solving, we need to think at least two, three different way of approaches, so that we can get one of the best out of it. Yeah. So one of the questions from Shubham is that how many questions do one need to put right for every day to be a good programmer? Like if there is any particular particular 5 to 6 question one need to do, or 10 question or 100 question, like what should be the optimal part of a beginner that they can continue, like at least 5 or 6? How you started in your beginning? Can you please share?
I would say, like, it doesn't matter you are solving 5 questions, 50 or even 100. I would say, like 100 is not possible, by the way. But yeah, it doesn't matter how many questions you are solving. It only matters like, are you getting something out of it? Like, is something new you have learned out of it? Like the question you have solved, like it doesn't like you have solved the question in just 5 minutes of seeing it. Then it must be like you have must be solved that same sort of question earlier. Okay, so you should try to solve the questions like you are spending around 30 minutes. Like, if trust me, if you are spending around 30 minutes on a question, then you must be getting something out of it. Because if you are spending 30 minutes, then you must don't know about like what you might not have been solved it earlier, and you are definitely searching for something, some new algorithms on the internet or anywhere, and you are something getting out of it. And yeah, don't run for the solutions directly, because suppose you are running for the solutions directly, like you might feel happy, yeah, I have got the solution, but internally it decreases your problem solving skills, because you have got the solution and now you don't know how it has been solved, and so on. So yeah, don't run for the quantity, run for the quality.
Exactly. Yeah, Abhay, you want to say something?
So yeah, like you said, how you solve. When I started feeling like I am like everyone starts from the HackerRanks. When I start feeling like I can do this question, so I don't spend most of my time on the easiest question because it will just waste my time, because I know the prior knowledge how to solve it. So I search for the new problem set which I can spend my time, and I can use my some of the get new concepts to learn. So I move to the next problems, and but the basic thing I keep in the mind: solve at least one problem per day. Because if you have not solving at least one, then it will definitely be going to kill yourself from. It will not make the base as strong as needed. But yes, at least one day, and quality questions. That's my advice.
Both, I would like one question, take up here. Motivation, guys. How you both have keep motivated yourself. We have a question from Himakashi Talakuda. So how to be stay consistent during kind of motivation, like what problems you have faced, while become expert in CP. So I would like to listen from both of you, and I'm sure that audience will be very excited because we have 7 likes for this question. So yeah, over to you. Anyone can take the question, and meanwhile after that Adi or Abhay. Yeah.
So yeah, if I talk about myself, like for that I would suggest you to go to the CodeChef ranking page of LPU, okay, and then just set the target. Like I have to see myself one day on this page, like in the top very top 10 sections of the competitive programming on the CodeChef. Like just set a target, like one day I have to see myself on this page in the very top 10. Okay, then I would say you will start getting feel like I can do it. Just set a motive, like I can do this, okay, and when you have set this feeling in you, then I would say, like if you are have been stuck on the third question in any contest, then you might will get the feel like if I have to go there, then I have to solve this question. Like if you are stuck in your mind is not working, just have a break. And even if you are in the contest, I would suggest like just have a break of 2 to 3 minutes, brush up your mind, or just feel fresh, and then just came back to the question and then just solve it. And it will, the ranking page I would say will keep you motivated. Like if you want to see you in the very top 10 or in the very first page of any ranking page, then yeah, just set your target, like I have to see myself, then it will definitely give you a boost, like yeah, I can do this. So yeah, Abhay, what about you?
Like you scratch my words. Like my motivation is, if you visit the Codeforces, you can see the purple color field of candidate master. So I have that my motivation, because till now LPU is seeking for a candidate master, and I have reached the first place in the LPU ranking, but haven't colored my name in the purple. So my motivation is to reach that purple color, and yeah, this is the thing which motivates me to participate in the regular contest and practice the CPP.
That is absolutely fine, Abhay, but that is your motivation. But how you can motivate the student, like how they can keep motivated while solving the problem? The question is to be like that.
Yeah, at the initial, like I don't know about the Codeforces, so how you can motivate yourself? Like you can set a target. Like I have a target for my senior, like I have to beat him. So you can target any of us, like you can target Aditya Bhaiya, you can target me. I have to beat him, and I have to overcome him in the next 6 months. So you have to practice. You make me friend and check how I am practice, and you will practice double than me. That's the only way you can beat me. So try this way and make me or any of us the target. Yeah.
Also, I would like to give answer for the same in a funny way. Like, the target can be like product-based company. So I guess this is the enough. For me also, guys, we don't have to beat someone else. Focus on the quality problems and your problem-solving skills, and look at, product-based FANG ka target. In your bio, once you post on LinkedIn, just have a feel and vibe. Once someone is posting like, today I'm going to join this company and this company and this. And if there is a product-based company, you will see, likes and comment की भरमार आ जाती है. So you don't have to focus कि हाँ मैं मारूँ मुझे likes और comment है. In general, I am talking funny way. So I guess the FANG company and FANG path is one of the the great motivation for us to start CP. So, and that makes different from the rest of the people as well. It's how you are different, and your mind is going to be very smart. You can solve not only in to solving the problem, but in every aspect of your life. So that makes you different while solving problem on CP. Yeah. Both.
Yeah, and one thing I like to say is that, for a motivation purpose, like many of the people get often confused that doing CP will land me a job at Google, Microsoft, Facebook. No, it's very myth. I was talking one of my senior come friend. He is a software developer in Amazon. I was asking that what makes someone perfect for a candidate to sit in SD1. So they were telling is that CP is not really any criteria for an interviewer. They will be asking questions based on data structures and are very optimal questions. Not like CP is more of a sports. It's, you can consider it's a sports. It's something that you play, you do for to feel that energy, that vibrations. So don't compare it. Like, don't do CP in order to get in product based. But as said by Lee, it's very motivation is that to get a product based company. And if you're doing it for product based companies, also focus on basic things, because in competitive coding you're getting hard question, you're getting demotivated. Don't feel that. There are a lot of the questions that are very basics. So separate that. Like if you're focusing on competitive coding, do mathematics as said by the speakers. And if you're focusing on product based companies, as everybody we do for it, like that's a pure motivation, I can tell you. And for that you need to plan in a proper strategic way. The professionalism is the first key that you need to know. So there are both different tracks, don't mix up those, right? So for a product based there is a different platform, for a competitive coding there are two different platforms, and combiningly you can be a good competitive coder, right? So that's the motivation. Like there are a lot of opportunities. It's not like that if you're not a good competitive coder you'll not be a good SD1. So it's absolutely not, it's a myth. So yeah, all I am telling is that it depends upon you. CP is a kind of sports that we do, right? So yeah, I'll ask Abhay and Adi bhai to share his views, right?
Like competitive programming, as Julie said, like competitive programming will not lead you only competitive programming will not lead you to Google and Facebook, but yes, it will help, because competitive programming will enhance your problem solving skills. And when I have seen some of the interviews question of Facebook and Google's, and they have asked the higher data structures because they are at the higher level, so definitely their level of the asking the question should be high, but their questions are of the higher, like they are asking the question of the graph, but they have complicate the problem which you can only solve if you have the problem solving skills, and that skills are formed enhance the base of that skills are from the competitive programming, which you can learn from the different platforms which like HackerEarth, Codeforce and CodeChef. So yeah, Aditya.
What I would say is like the basic main criteria of the companies behind taking coding rounds in interviews is like that. Suppose company has given you a question, okay, and it's a great quality question related to the graphs or any other data structure concept, and if you have been solving it optimally and in a very faster time, then what seems to the company that this candidate can if suppose in the company is giving you any task, okay, or providing you the sources to learn any new language or something else, okay, so company it seems to the company that yes, this candidate can grab the things easily when he or she will come to my company. So that's the only criteria behind the mind of the interviewer, is that to hire a quality programmers, nothing else, I would say. So yeah, you should have great programming skills.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the most important factor that I'll say. Like one of the like somebody has asked, he was repeatedly was asking that it's a different question. Like, do you also focus on making projects, or you only focus on competitive coding, or you balance both of the things? So can anybody please?
I would say you need to balance both, but your priority should be the competitive programming, okay? Because whenever you will be sitting in the interviews, okay, the very last round or the very last round or the very second last round is going to be discussed about your projects, because projects will show you the candidate like he or she has done something out of the competitive profile, okay? Because if you will be having I would say not around 5 to 6 great projects, okay, you should have at least one project, but should be of quality. Like it's just not only the front end part you have done and you are showing it to the interviewer, because front end is not comes under the project which is of great quality. You should something have done related to the like I am from the development, I'm saying so. Okay, so like you have done the front end and the back end part both. Like a project can something be related to the full stack, I would say. So yeah, but your priority should be the competitive programming, and if you can make at least one good project, then it's good to go. But if you don't have any project, good project, then it can be a trouble when you will be sitting in the interviews, because interviewer is definitely going to ask about any project you have done so that we can discuss. And then what you would say, I don't have any. So yeah.
Yeah, I would like to say one thing to all the folks, those who are for today's session. We are running out of time, so we'll take the question. Very important question. Not all the question will take it. Okay, and I'll request to the speaker as well as from both of you. Anyone can take and just keep the question in a, whatever answer that you're giving, just on a brief manner. So that would be more great. We can take maximum questions. So we'll wrap up this session in between 10 minutes. So yeah, both you can take the question. That would be more great. Fast.
Okay.
I have one more question. Yeah, like it was being revolving all around. Like any three of among you three, one who can answer. Like open source or CP. Most of the first year students are getting stuck to it. Open source or CP. Like two other very different things. People are confusing.
If you like, if you are doing open source, then it's good to go. But I would say if you are not doing competitive, then with the help of open source, I would say you can land into any company by around packages of around maximum up to 15, I would say, if I'm not wrong. But if you're doing competitive, then you can land into any product-based company without any issue. So yeah, I'm saying you should do open source, but along with open source, you should do the competitive programming as well, because that's the only thing with which you can land into a product-based company.
I'm sorry
At a
to
good
interrupt.
package. At a good package.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. All the folks, like all the attendees, kindly see in the general chat box. I've shared a link.
And I'm seeing one question from Roopshri as well. Like, is CGPA matters? In brief, I would say, yeah, CGPA matters because suppose 200 candidates appeared for an interview, and company just want to interview, company has taken the coding round of around 200 candidates, and company just want to interview only 20 students. What company will do? Company will shortlist the candidates on the basis of their CGPA. It doesn't matter he have good competitive programming skills or what he or she have. The company is going to shortlist only on the basis of the CGPA. So try to maintain CGPA greater than 7. Okay. And if I talk about specifically to the LPU, then if you have CGPA greater than 7, then you can sit in any company coming to the LPU. With 7, I am saying like it's not 6.99 or something else. It will be greater than 7.0. Okay, greater than equals to 7.0, so that you would be able to sit in any company coming to the LPU. But what I personally prefer is like with 7 CGPA, everyone is going to sit for the coding interview. Okay, and if company will shortlist the students on the basis of CGPA, then you try to maintain CGPA greater than 7, but with greater than 7.5, will give you a upper hand to get shortlisted even after the coding rounds as well.
Okay, that's amazing. So all the folks kindly visit to the link. It's the link which you will get official documentation and all the necessary information for tomorrow's event and hence for the future event. So kindly go to this link and register for tomorrow's event in order to get the certification and all the details. It's mentioned in the link, and we will be moving forward. Yeah, Bhavish bhai, do you have any question? Are you taking?
I'm just listening.
There is one another question from Milandip Singh. He's saying if he would not be able to crack the exam on 21st, what will happen? Trust me, Milandip, nothing will happen. You might know what extra pulse you are getting from the students who will be cracking. Suppose you have not been I'm saying you might will get cracked the exam, but suppose you are not cracking the exam, what will happen? The university will be teaching you the aptitude and the verbal, like the English verbal. Okay, but if you will be cracking that exam, the HODs will be teaching you the data structures and algorithms and some concepts relating to the number theory and all, like from the basic to the advanced. Professors will be teaching and you will be getting more time. Okay, and trust me, some of my friends not cleared this exam, and they are not getting so much time, basically I would say. But if you will crack this exam, then you will be getting more time. Like your CAs will be related to the competitive programming only. Okay, so yeah, you are getting some extra time to get prepared for the product based companies as well. But don't get demotivated if you will not get cleared. Okay, if you will not get cleared, then you will be not getting so much time, but still you can get some free time in which you can prepare by your own, like going to the websites like GFG and all, and just prepare for it. So yeah, don't worry, we will discuss it in detail in tomorrow's session. Don't worry.
Okay, so one last question, not more than that. All the attendees are requested to join and complete the session till tomorrow in order to get the certification and to get the questions from the previous years, and also what kind of question set we'll be solving, live questions, both of them. So join tomorrow in order to get complete outlet of that, and all the content you'll be getting tomorrow. So you are requested to join tomorrow as well. And one last question I'll be glad to take. So one last question, as today's main agenda was how to become a top premium coder. So both of you, like, I'll be last one question, one motivation that actually create a difference in your life when you thought that it's end now. So one last motivation from you both, like you want to say something, one last word, both of you. I'll be starting with Abhay, please.
My last word would be all of things can be achieved only with the practice. Take one data structure and practice it a lot. Take one algorithm, practice it a lot in depth. So the key is practice. So yeah.
Yeah, Abhay, please.
Yeah, continuing with Abhay, like practice is the key, and along with it, like take every contest, like because only the contest can push your rating. Okay, so take every contest as like you are giving an coding round of a company, and suppose that company is your dream company. Okay, so just try to give the contest in a very passionate way, like I have to get the rating in this particular section, which you consider like this can be my dream rating. Okay, or my dream rank in any contest, and just try to set this, and if you are achieving this, then it's good to go. But practice is the key, and if you try to solve at least one more question after the contest is going forward. Like suppose you have solved 2 questions in any contest, and try to solve the third one after the contest ends, because you are solving one more question apart from the others, and in the very next contest you are going to solve 3 questions, and your rating will be boosted up by plus 100 or something else.
So as that said, that only one solution is there. There is no solution and no shortcut unless and until you work for it and you practice. Because if you do mistakes, these are going to be the lessons for your future question solving portion. So that's most important. So keep doing practice, all the things that you have learned today, theoretically. Tomorrow we're going to do some practical question and the important question for tomorrow's and 21st April's product based company. So as that said, I'll request our lead to conclude this if he has something to say, or after that.
No. I guess to go on, I would like to thank behalf of the DSC lead, Mr. Aditya Agrawal and Mr. Abhay Singh Chauhan, for giving your valuable time to interact with our fellow juniors and maybe the seniors, or maybe like with the same classes. And that was really, really nice session. And looking forward to by tomorrow as well, how the product based test can be that easily act by the students. So let's see how this go by tomorrow. And I request to everyone to join tomorrow's session that my co-host told you in order to get a certification, and you will get insight, previous discussion, what kind of topics and all the things will be discussed by tomorrow by our renowned speaker, Mr. Aditya Agrawal. And I guess now good to go for wrap up the session. And thanks you once again for joining all of you for this session. And over to you, both.
And in the very last, I would say generally Abhay used to conduct virtual contest on the code courses, which all will love to give. Like you can give the contest, like Abhay will put the link here in the chat box itself. You can go and subscribe and all, like you can join the group on the code courses, like Abhay is going to share. Then you
Yes. One more point I would like to add that Mr. Aditya Agrawal, he is our competitive programming head at Developer Student Club LPU, and Abhay, they both are a part of a Developer Student Club LPU in a CP team. So we just started this initiative up to the on small level, which will be do up to the next level, bigger level. You will see from us. So for mentoring or any kind of help, you can always ask your help with Adi and Abhay for sure.
Yeah, you can connect with me on LinkedIn itself. I would love to help you all. Wait, let me
Adi or Abhay, that would be
LinkedIn.
great if you guys can share your LinkedIn profile here so people
Yeah.
can connect with you.
I would always love to help my fellow mates.
Both just wrap the session. Meanwhile, Aditya and Abhay, send your LinkedIn profile before wrap the session.
So yeah, you can just send me a connection request. I would love to accept it, and I would love to, if you have something amazing doubts or any guidance, I would love to help you out.
So
So
as I
yeah.
said, the only one way that we can grow, we can actually solve our problem is to be united and talk to our fellow mates, talk to our seniors, talk to people like them, those who have created an history, and always stay together, stay united with Developer Student Club LPU in order to get all the output that we are giving, and we are bringing many surprises in the upcoming sessions. Please do join us tomorrow and be with us. Thanks all attendees for being with us, an amazing crowd. And thanks the entire team of the Developer Student Club, Lovely Professional University for hosting and organizing such a good event. Signing off, take care, tada, bye-bye, and
Bye-bye.
all the best tomorrow.
Thanks.
Bye.
Good night.
Have a great day ahead. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye.